Hello everyone, this is Jebro. We're going through the engineer patch notes that came out on the 18th of October. And this is the Halloween patch. So this is one of those balance patch, one of the bigger balance patches that we get in Guild Wars 2. I'm going to go through a few different classes at different points in time on my YouTube channel or on Twitch. And it's not the worst thing ever. This patch there's nothing massively crazy going on. It's a lot of nerfs, a few buffs here and there, but massive nerfs to like Druid, for example. Mesmers are going to be able to not easily win 1v1s now, but they're going to have a lot more luck, that's for sure. Especially because Celestial Avatar getting nerfed, not able to remove as many conditions as before because of cooldowns being increased and whatnot, and different abilities and healing being scaled down. So that's different things happening there. But anyway, we're talking about Scrapper. We're talking about Engineer actually as well. The reason I'm kind of facing away is because all of this is on another bit of screen. So we've been looking to improve the engineer and to support the areas it has been lacking in so that the profession can perform more effectively in a DPS role. Now, when they say DPS role, they're talking about PvE really more than anything. They're not really talking about PvP, because you will see why when we go through the actual abilities that is buffed, because they're not any of the abilities at the moment that are being used in PvP. I wish they were, but they're not viable at the moment, right now as I'm speaking. In order to improve purity of purpose, like that kind of word in there, we have removed the days functionality from the gyro utility type from Scrapper, for Scrapper. So that's the big major change really, right in the first paragraph. The fact is, removing the days from the gyro. When you destructed it, when it got destroyed, you got days, so you were able to destroy it and get a good interrupt. You could get your reses a lot easier. You could make space. You could kite. You could heal up and not make sure you weren't going to get interrupted. Now healing turret's going to be even. Not that it was it is easier to interrupt that now because the cast time's still quite long, but things like that is going to make it it is less survivability as well as less control. And it was, it wasn't a difficult thing to do. It wasn't very skillful, I suppose. So that's the thing. I am reading the chat as well because I'm doing this while I'm streaming on Twitch. The patch did have a lot of nice stuff as well. I think my chat at the moment do not do sound effects. That is very, very true. Otherwise it will be sad. Random sound effects going off during the stream. But yeah, so anyway, I am going to just turn them off just in case. So, Scrapper, Engineer, let's go through them. Stack Shield, the recharge time of the ability has been reduced from 40 seconds to 30 seconds. Block duration has been increased from 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds. That is on the shield. First of all, you may think, something to do with Hammer 4, but it's not. So static shield, there you go. So the cooldown is now 30 seconds. In case you forgot what that looks like as well. It's a shame because shield is actually a really cool weapon, and especially because I spent a lot of money on that skin a while ago. Which I really love, by the way. Now, Condi builds, they used to be a bomb build as well that Teldo used to play back in the day, if you remember who Teldo is. He was a pretty cool dude, still is, obviously, but a really, really talented PvPer. Easily one of the best engineers there's ever been as well. So yeah, it's sad that doesn't get used that much, but maybe, now, if by actually, reducing the cooldown, you get a stun, maybe there's something there that people can start to look at. But Hammer's got too much utility, it's too good, so in PvP it's unlikely that it will indeed get replaced. So that's the thing. Let's go on to the next thing. Flamethrower, Air Blast. The description has been updated to better specify the ability's function. The burning stacks it applies have been increased from 1 to 2. Let's just grab on the good old flamethrower there. Sorry, Air Blast. So, you know, it got added, you know, there was that wind-up animation that got added to it a long time ago as well. So now it just does the knockback as well. So push back foes and projectiles with a hot air blast, burning foes that are already on fire. So obviously, you know, he's not on fire currently. But you get the general gist. That is the ability that is occurring with Firebomb. The physical damage of the ability has been increased by 10% per tick. So we are running kind of a power build anyways. So that's, we can actually see. So that's where, you know, there was a lot of, that was the only real bomb where you were like, oh, okay, you know, that's just going to be affected by Conduit. But you could run power now with that, and burning would be quite nice to apply as well. I wish that you were just always out of combat when you were versus golems. Cough, cough. Just so you didn't have to run away all the time. Kind of triggers me quite annoyingly. So Firebomb, there you go. So an extra 10% per tick. So let's have a look how much damage that does with like power. It's substantial. I mean, you know, it's not bad. And that's running with, of course, Paladin. There you go. So you've got a significant amount of power as well. It's precision. It is like a video, yeah. There's no music at the moment, indeed. Talking the reflection of the screen. Indeed. Don't worry. Don't worry. You guys can still talk and ask questions, definitely, because this is all going in the video, so it's okay. I'm watching in my car, waiting for class. Oh, that's dedication, guys. That's dedication. Okay, so we're going to continue going through this. I'm reading your chat, so if you do have questions while this is going off, because this is live on Twitch, so you can actually ask questions. No worries. So big old bomb, sorry, concussion bomb, confusion duration. Sorry, confusion duration has been increased from 5 seconds to 8 seconds. The physical damage of this ability has been increased by 20%. So that's not bad. It makes it more, you know, they use bombs in PvE. So if they've, you know, want to stick one of them in their rotation, put confusion, whatever, they're going to get some nice extra damage. So, you know, there's going to be a bit more damage output in raids and whatnot as well. So let's just go over to, let's just try the bomb. Just for the hell of it, you know. I mean, it's not bad. You know, a ton of confusion. Alright, you can remove that pretty easily. But, hey ho. That's another day, another conversation. Big old bomb, the knockdown duration of this ability has been increased from 2 seconds to 3 seconds. Now that's pretty nice, but in PvP, we don't use it again, you know, it's not one of those things we really use. So it's nice. I mean, it does feel like it's a fairly long time, but hey ho. Knockdown duration is ability. I mean, I guess that is is that the same for downside? Meh, don't know. But anyway, it's not too bad. You know, it's just another one of those things. Mechanized deployment, fixed the bug that prevented the tool belt recharge rate attribute from updating properly in the hero panel. Just does what it says on the tin, really. Poison dart volley. So this has had, I think this has had a buff the last couple of times, actually. Last couple of patches when we have to run away again to change a pistol into our build, which I could have done before, really, in all honesty. Man, look how cool my pirate would look if I could use my shield. Well, I can. Maybe we'll make a build after this and we'll just play around and play around with bombs and whatnot. Because, you know, the ranked queue is just interesting in the moment, is the phrase I shall indeed use. Yes. I've got a cool looking pistol as well. Look. Anyway, patch video. La la la. So poison dart volley. Projectiles fired by this skill will now land more consistently. They made it more accurate because it was always firing like boom, 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 and kind of I've missed sometimes, and it was a bit random, and you weren't really sure why. Scrapper with a rifle, someone's saying. Potentially, you never know. Yes, vanilla Conduit Engineer is indeed used quite a lot. NG, I mean, Condi NG in PvP would just be awesome. To be fair, I do still do very well with Condi NG. I think it's still really actually quite good and quite fun. So let's just have a look at Poison Dart Volley. I mean, that's a lot from a distance. That is definitely more on point there. That is actually a lot better than it used to be. You know, if I watch a video of my char specifically, even from far away, look, that's actually really good. And that's quite a lot of like, you know, it's good application of poison. That's quite a short cooldown as well, so it's not actually too bad. Rocket Boots. The initial damage of this ability has been increased by 25%. So that's nice. We've got power build. We can actually get this Rocket Boots out and have a little pop. It was so random, yes. Give me back my money, etc. That's the name of a person on Twitch, by the way, not just me being random. Okay, so let's put the Rocket Boots on. We'll put the toolkit on as well, because that's coming up. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. So, Rocket Boots. Now, Rocket Boots, obviously, it cures immobilized, crippled, and chilled. It used to be a stun breaker a long time ago, as far as I remember. In my opinion, they should really change it back to that, but hey-ho. It was a great escape. It was such a cool ability. So let's do this running into the wall here. We can see the actual damage. That's quite a big tick of damage, to be fair. I mean, you hit Golem for... Excellent. I got the lightning strike as well, obviously, because of the damage. But like, I got 1k. I got 1,037 damage for the Rocket Boots, and then I got the lightning strike in this build for 609. So, you know, 1.5k damage. It's, you know, better than a smack in the chops. I don't know. What do you want me to say? It's not too bad. It's just, you know, it's just obvious. It's not a difficult thing to think about. It's like, okay, that's cool. Where am I going to use that? Where am I going to use that? Running around a PvE map, maybe. World v World, if you just got a roaming build, which is quite fun. You can do some extra damage. While you're trying to retreat, you can kite and maybe do some damage from afar. If you've got a rifle or a pistol or whatever. So, you know, it's thinking about putting these things into new builds and having a bit of fun with it. It's really up to you. I'm not just talking about PvP, because I play Engineer and Scrapper and everything. Utility Goggles. The recharge time of this ability has been reduced from 40 seconds to 30 seconds. You know what Utility Goggles are. I don't need to go through that. Glue Trail. Fixed a bug that caused this skill to affect certain friendly NPCs. Don't really need to talk about that. Gear Shield. So the block duration of this ability had been reduced from 3 seconds to 2 seconds. I'm not really sure why, in all honesty. This is a confusing one. Does anyone want to hazard a guess as to why? Now, I was watching Hellseth's stream yesterday, and when I say yesterday, I mean on patch day on the 18th of October, and he was just doing a funny little thing between some of the devs, and like hand puppet thing. It was actually quite disrespectful, but he made a point in a way. We know what he's like anyway. Fuel the drama. But basically, he was saying, you know, like shield got buffed. Offhand shield got buff. Offhand shield has got main hand shield. They're just bringing 2 shields. That'd be sick. Shield offhand on obviously has been buffed. So why don't we nerf the cog shield so people don't start stacking shields and blocks and having loads of blocks and, you know, the damage increase and whatnot. So, you know, that's why. But it kind of makes some sense in a weird, horrible way. Like, if that was the reasoning behind it, it's probably quite funny. 16-second cooldown when traded. Yeah, maybe. But it's still silly. I mean, it's like... Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about the traits, you're talking about... Yeah, in that row. Someone just mentioned in the chat about the being able to, you know, reduce cooldowns and tool belt skills and whatnot. I'm in pain now in World v World. Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, what that 1 second of extra block is very, very important for a lot of people. So, You know, that's the thing. So there you go. Maybe. Hey ho. I mean, it is a 13-second cooldown. Still, it's not that horrible, is it? I mean, there's a lot worse things out there. But again, you know, it's another way of nerfing some kind of survivability to Scrapper, to Engineer. And it doesn't get used in like Guild v Guild or anything like that anyway. And you know, you're not going to use not really using Tool Belt in PvE as far as I know. I'm not sure why it would be anyway. But maybe I'm just completely clueless about that. So if you've got any information about that, then let me know. Okay, let's continue on. There's not much more left to go. Gyro utility skills. Gyros will no longer use daze. Will no longer daze anything in the area they affect when they die. No destruction or death of the gyros is going to bring a daze, which is going to interrupt people, which is massive for PvP, for Scrappers. To the point where Scrapper... I mean, there's going to be so many ways, you know, in the Pro League finals, in the World Championship finals, you know, TCG's main idea to counter this kind of NG thing of the powerful resing, and, you know, obviously, and for them, you know, it was get an Ellie in and keep up their Necro. They didn't want to have a Scrapper in there. So, you know, some other teams potentially trying this and having it bash. Like, Ellie is stronger now because they buffed Dagger as well, which is going to be another video in another time. But now that you've got this Scrapper who is actually, like, not as useful as he used to be. You know, the resing is cool. He's got lots of utility. He can down, he can res, he can finish off like in 1v2 to a degree, depending on who he's against. They're great versus thieves. There's still a place for it, but like it's making it very difficult, I think, really as well. So I think that's a big thing, and I don't think. Yeah, it's B Sandro. It's exactly that's it. It's the sustain, and but the thing is, it's not sustain, which is what I was talking about earlier. That's not me moaning, by the way. That's not me griping that, you know, they ruined my class. La la la. I'm an old man with no hair. It's me saying, you know, I understand now. Really why that had to happen, because NG Scrapper has so many powers. If we go through the build right now and you look at the PV, you look at the build, you know, you evade, you get stability. You don't activate that. You don't have to do anything specifically to get that. Rapidly regenerate health while affected by swiftness or super speed. You're not really doing a lot to get that. I mean, it used to be, you know, slick shoes, you could get super speed there. And then, you know, one of your gyros deconstructing, you get super speed and you get daze. You know, it's like... super speed days. NG gets away and is healing and is, you know, playing a thief recently and playing other things. I've been versus NGs and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, this is a pain in the ass to kill. And it still is. Like, it's still not the easiest thing. You know, I've been playing PvP today. You've seen that. And it's just, you know, it's just a thing. I just think it's needed. But also, what happens when you take all the passive stuff away from the Scrapper? I mean, all this stuff, is he going to be able to survive? Is he going to be able to do what he can do in an effective way? And you get stability as well when you activate a gyro, so you get all these passive things through Scrapper. You know, a function gyro, resing and healing. You know, it's okay. The downing is not that difficult at all because you just press F. The resing is a little bit more complicated, but it's not difficult, even though, you know, sometimes I fail there. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, it feels like it's right, but also at the same time, like, give us something good that we can use in this elite spec where we can be, you know, skillful with it, I think, you know, is more the word. Whereas if you think about someone like Zan, okay, he's very skillful engineer, you know, he's able to use his abilities very well. He has, you know, comes up with combinations in very, very, you know, clutch situations, which is awesome. But in terms of, you know, survival, so a lot of this is kind of this passive kind of things going off when you evade something, or it's just, I don't know. Anyway, it's not that bad. But, you know, I'm moaning about something which is easy. You know, why am I moaning about that? But that's the reasoning behind it, you know, because, you know, it's just too much survivability, too much sustain. But if you take away all the sustain, where is this class? Where is this elite specialization in PvP? And that's my worry, is if they keep doing it, what are we going to be left with? we're going to be left with, I don't know, some protection. Maybe some might. And some, the gaining stack, that got nerfed as well. You know, that got nerfed. The healing got nerfed on that. That got nerfed. Like, if you think about all the stuff that's got nerfed, nerf, nerf heal, nerf. Like, all the survival stuff, like, slowly, patch by patch, they're going by the trees, and they are nerfing everything. They got rid of speedy kits before Elite Specialization even came in. So, yeah, it's nerfing the survival of Engineer. It's always been way too survival. But I think they've done it in a way which, over time, like, you forget how much has actually been nerfed. Okay, it's painful, but, you know, we deal with it, and Engineer is still good. But yeah, sorry if that's... It's not really a rant. It's just, you know, thinking about it, it has been nerfed, not to the ground, but they've actually been doing okay with Scrapper. But, you know, it's a matter of opinion more than anything else. Gadgeteer fixed a bug in which the overcharged versions of gadget skills did not have their recharge time reduced by this trait. And then Incendiary Powder fixed a bug that caused this trait to display longer than the attainable burning duration on skills. So really, that's it for Scrapper, you know? I mean, the days is a big thing for PvP. They've had a lot of, you know, damage buffs, really, for PvE. And, you know, PvP as well, because if you play bombs in PvP, then you got a damage buff. You got some CC buff as well, extra second added to big old bomb knockdown, as well as, you know, concussion bomb, going to give you that extra confuse for another 3 seconds on top of 5, adding to 8. So it's not too horrible. It's just not much, really, is my end comment. Druid got rinsed. We'll talk about that in another comment bit. I'm going to go play some PvP. Thanks for watching. And that's the video. Ta-da! Boom!